Welcome to Court Helicopter Explainer, where we are focusing on the war in Iran. Everybody has heard Ayatollah Ali Khamenei being referred as the supreme leader. What is a supreme leader? Is he the president? What are the powers of the supreme leader in Iran? These are questions that very many Kenyans are not getting because the Kenyan Constitution does not talk about a supreme leader. Can you imagine that Iran has a president who is elected? Can you imagine there are many members of parliament elected by the people directly of Iran? So how does Iran's government operate? Court Helicopter went all the way to Iran and looked at Article 110 of the Iranian Constitution. Here is where you can understand what the law talks about and why there is a supreme leader and there are leaders elected by the people. The war in Iran, for the benefit of our views, before the Ayatollah came to power, there was the government of the Shah. Shah's government, Pahlavi's Shah. It is alleged that he murdered so many people. And therefore the religious sect of the Muslim, the Shia sect, one Ayatollah Khamenei started giving sermons or preaching in the Muslim faith and making it a fundamental issue. Later he was chased out of the country and went to France. But the teachings got into the people's psyche and the Shah was overthrown. Later, Ayatollah came back and he was given the presidency. He's the one who turned the government to have a supreme leader. Ayatollah, the name Ayatollah, from the books that we have read, Ayatollah means a religious leader, a priest, a senior rank. In the churches here, we call them archbishops, reverend, fathers and that. So Ayatollah is a religious title at the apex of the religious persuasion of in Iran. There have been two Ayatollahs. Ayatollah Ruhollah Khamenei, who died, and this Ayatollah, that is Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, who has been killed by the Americans. So now you understand the basis of this. This is a type of government that is called a theocracy. A theocracy is a type of government that is based on the divine of divinity, the deity. Here in Kenya, we talk about democracy, the rule by the majority of the people. In Iran, the theocracy means they rely on their guiding compass is the deity called God, and therefore that is why it is a God issue. The law Sharia, the Sharia law now applies. The Quran is the fundamental law that governs Iran. So let us look at the powers of the supreme leader of Iran under Article 110. 1. The supreme leader is given the power to determining the political direction of the government in consultation with the advisory committee. He is the one who decides how the government will go. He's the chief government policy maker. Anybody serving under the Iran government must follow his direction. 2. He oversees the correct implementation of the general policies of the government. He is the implementer. He oversees the implementation of all policies passed by the legislature, passed by the executive, everything. 3, he is the person who can call a referenda. In Kenya here, IBC is the one that can call for a referendum. In Iran, the supreme leader has the powers to call a referendum. 4, he is the commander of all armed forces. In Kenya here, the president is the commander-in-chief of all armed forces. In Iraq, the supreme leader is the commander of all armed forces. 5, he has the power to declare war, peace, and the mobilization of the armed forces. He has the power to declare war. In Kenya, the President of the Republic of Kenya can declare war with approval of Parliament. In Iran, the Supreme Leader can declare war alone without involving the legislature. 6, he has the power to appoint and dismiss the following people. He can dismiss 6 of the 12 jurists of the Council of Guardians. He has power to dismiss 6 Supreme Court judges. You can see how powerful this person is. 2, he can dismiss the head of the judiciary. He has the power to dismiss the Chief Justice of Iran. In Kenya, the President, the Commander-in-Chief, Dr. William Ruto, cannot dismiss the Chief Justice. The Chief Justice, if anybody has an issue, you petition to the Judicial Service Commission. The Judicial Service Commission finds her culpable. It recommends to the President to form a tribunal. The tribunal investigates and recommends to the President, and the President shall implement what the commission, what the tribunal has said. So you can see the Supreme Leader has really powers that are supreme. Then he goes on to say he can dismiss the Chief of the General Staff, the CDF. The Chief of General Staff is the head of all the Navy, the boss, Air Force, the Navy, and the Army. In Kenya here, the President has no power to dismiss the Chief of General Staff. The council, the military council, will sit and recommend for the removal of the CDF. It is not easy, but in Iran, the Supreme Leader has powers. He moves on. He can also, he's the Commander-in-Chief of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. He can sack the Commander-in-Chief of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps. And lastly, he can sack the highest commanders of the armed forces and the security bodies. So the Supreme Leader, Ali Khamenei, had a lot of power that were based on theocracy, not on democracy. 7, the Supreme Leader has the power of facilitating relations between the legislative, executive, and judicial branches. Remember, in democracy like Kenya, we have 3 forms of government. The legislature, which is separate, the executive, which is separate, and the judiciary. In Iran, he is the coordinator. The Supreme Leader oversees the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary. My God, Khamenei had a lot of power, the Supreme Leader. 8, he has the power to resolve issues in governance that cannot be settled through ordinary means. Any matter that not be resolved through the judicial process, through the legislative process, or through the executive process, he had the power to decide. So, you can see, this was a lord, this was a person with absolute power. 9, he has the power of approving the appointment of the president after the presidential election. So in Iraq, there is an election of a president. But after the president has been elected and declared the winner by the REBC of Iran, he must be approved by the supreme leader. So if the supreme leader does not want the person the people have elected, he will reject. He has what we call the veto power. So in Kenya, we have what is called the general will of the people. Whoever the people will elect with the 50+1 vote majority, nobody, not even the courts, nobody needs to approve that president. In Kenya and in very democratic countries, the will of the people is supreme. Here, the will in Iran, the will of the supreme leader is what is supreme. So, Iran has a population of 102 million people. So whether they elect Vivian to be their president, the supreme leader can say Vivian cannot assume office. Instead, I want Bramwell to be the president. And that is how Iran is governed. 10. He has the powers of dismissing the president after judicial conviction or a legislative vote of no confidence. So the supreme leader has power to sack the president on 2 grounds. 1, if the judiciary finds the president as a convict. 2, if Parliament of Iran deals with a censure motion or as an impeachment motion, then the president can be sacked by the supreme leader. Lastly, he has the power of pardoning or commuting sentences upon the recommendation of the head of the judiciary. He can pardon. Whether you have been convicted by the Supreme Court of Iran, he can pardon. He has the power. Remember, these powers are similar to the powers that the President of the Republic of the USA president has. In Kenya, the President of the Republic of Kenya does not have those powers. Those powers are under the office of the, what we call the office that deals with the powers of mercy. It is them who will sit and look at petitions for pardoning. Then once the power of mercy committee approves, they send it to the president and the president will sign that. But in Iran, he has, the supreme leader has power to deal with this issue. So this is now, you understand, Article 10 of why all the Iranians are subservient to this. Remember, this is the country, when we looked the other time, the age of sexual consent. In Iran, it is 9 years. It was brought down by the supreme leader. That is the position in Iran. If you have a daughter there, age of sex is 9 years. So the absolute power rests with the supreme leader of Iran. We are not taking sides whether the Americans are right to attack Iran. We are not defending the Iranians, neither are we defending the Americans. Our position is to tell you the law that creates the official position of the supreme leader of Iran. If the law talks about a council sits and nominates who is going to be the supreme leader of Iran after one has died. Wish you all the best. You now know who the supreme leader of Iran is and why he has a lot of power against other presidents of the world who are elected democratically. Wakili Dan Senomari, we could have gone to do this episode in Iran, but all the airplanes have been grounded at JKIA. Keep watching and let us see how it unfolds.